Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Muy buenas tardes. Bienvenidos a todos. Thank you for joining us, families. It is always a pleasure to connect with you all. And welcome to Tech Talks and more. Today, we will be presenting digital citizenship and social media. We're waiting for folks to continue to come into our session. We'll be getting started soon. Buenas tardes a todos, gracias por conectar. Estamos aquí para hacer la presentación de la ciudadanía digital y las redes sociales. Gracias por estar con nosotros. Vamos a comenzar momentáneamente. Esperamos que entren nuestros participantes y vamos a comenzar muy pronto. Muchas gracias. Okay. Bueno, creo que comenzamos. Let's go to our next slide. So once again, welcome everybody. Just want to inform everyone that we do have interpretation services today. We will be conducting the session in English, but we also have Spanish interpretation available. Queremos informarles que esta sesión va a ser presentada en inglés, pero sí tenemos servicio de interpretación. Si gustan, primero vamos a poner, si gustan acceder a la interpretación, por favor haga clic en el símbolo del mundo en la parte de abajo o inferior de su pantalla. Va a seleccionar el idioma que le gustaría escuchar. Va a poder participar y escuchar la presentación en el idioma que seleccione. Si su dispositivo no admite interpretación, úselo el número de la llamada de conferencia o, por favor, pueden bajar la aplicación Zoom y ahí puedan poder acceder a la presentación. Gracias. Next slide. So thank you, families. Today we will be going through our presentation, but during the presentation, if you have any questions, please go ahead and use the Q&A icon on the bottom of your screen. We will try to answer the questions as best as we can during the presentation, and we're hoping to have some time at the end of the presentation to answer some questions. We're going to get started, and again, use the Q&A if you have any questions, and thank you so much. Next slide. So today we're presenting digital citizenship. I want to go review some of our objectives. So we know this is called TED Talks and more. And we always are ready to learn more about technology. And so today, these are objectives. We're going to gain awareness of the importance of digital citizenship. We're going to hopefully understand social media platforms, including what we call digital imprint. We're going to learn about important resources also for digital citizenship. So in our next slide, we're going to take a poll on our chat. So I want you to see the terms that are on the screen. Take a moment to take a look at that. And the question is, are you familiar with the following terms? So if you can on the chat, type in which ones you're familiar with. So I'm going to take a moment to give you some time to put that in the chat. Again, let's take a look at the terms. Are you familiar with social media, apps, tweet, digital footprint, digital citizenship? Many terms that many of us are familiar with and many of us not yet. I'm going to take a look at our chat. Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. Very familiar with social media. Ms. Santana is familiar with all of them. Thank you, Ms. Santana, for responding. Thank you, Alex, for you have these terms solid. Apps, tweets, social media, digital footprint. Natividad, very familiar with apps and social media. Ms. Hauser, thank you so much. All of those are covered. Melissa, redes sociales, social media. So thank you. Yes, some of us are familiar with the term, some of us are not. And then today we're just going to do some exploring so we can learn a little bit more and help guide some of the questions that might come up as we're engaging more and more in social media platforms. Next slide. So let's look at the definition for digital citizenship. What is digital citizenship? It's the practice of critical engagement and respectful behavior online, which is demonstrated through the digital content a student posts. So we're going to be unpacking this definition. So when I'm using platforms, any social media app, or social media or apps, we have to think about our digital citizenship. What is our behavior? What should be acceptable? What norms might we need to follow? So we want to make sure that parents have an understanding of this so you can best support your children at home. Next slide. So here's a short definition. We're going to take a look. What is digital citizenship? So as you see, that was a short video that talked a little bit about digital citizenship. We know that it's a way of understanding how we interact as a positive digital citizen on all these platforms, social medias, and more. I know that also things change little by little. So keep in mind what items might be of interest for you and how you might talk to your own children or students at home. The next piece is called a digital footprint. So as you see here, traditionally, we think about how we leave footprints as we're engaging in the physical world. But there's also what we call a digital footprint. The fingerprint is determined or defined by the individual choice of content to post. So what am I going to put on my post? The profiles that you create on multiple websites. So, as you're creating profiles on LinkedIn or on any other platform or applications and other platforms, you're leaving what is called a digital footprint. Next slide. Think about where you leave your digital footprint. We're going to see a closer look at what that looks like. Think about how you use and where you leave your digital footprint as you're reviewing this video.
I just don't know where all these prints are coming from. It's a mystery. Whom do they belong to?
There's some footprints that you just can't erase.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about something we all do. We all leave footprints online. They're called digital footprints. Every time you go online to play a game, type an email, or search the internet, you leave a trail.
Really? I'm online all the time sharing things. I play online, I post online, I submit and send things online almost every day.
Well, since you're online a lot, you have footprints all over the place, and it's really hard to erase these footprints.
You mean I can't just clean them up?
No, it doesn't work like that.
How does it work?
Our digital footprint can get really big really quickly, so we need to pause and think when we're online. We need to be safe, responsible, and respectful.
Wow. So what should I be careful about not sharing online?
Never share private information like your full name, address, telephone number, your age or birthday, or even your school.
I guess that makes sense. But what's okay to share then?
I share personal information, just not private information. I keep my full name and address to myself, but I feel safe sharing stuff like my hobbies and my favorite things.
Okay, I think I've got this. I may have a big footprint online, but I need to make sure what I'm sharing is safe, responsible, and respectful.
You got it.
It still doesn't solve the mystery of these muddy footprints, though. Aha! Case closed.
Remember to pause and think online. If you're not sure what to do, ask a trusted adult first. How big is your digital footprint?
Okay, so as you hear, it gave a short explanation about what is that digital footprint that we leave behind. During this short clip, I asked you to kind of think about what is your digital footprint. I know that as adults, we have many, many platforms, many digital footprints that we also leave. How do we talk to our children, the students, or your young adult, your teenagers about that digital footprint? A very wise point was made there is to pause, right? Many times, we're faced with responding immediately, sometimes responding to maybe in a moment where maybe we're not in a place where we're going to respond in a way that's respectful. What are we putting out there? And at the end of the day, we leave that print. It just does not go away. And so just being familiar with that, being safe, being respectful, being responsible in the use of any digital platform that we're using. And how can you speak to your children about it so that they understand they're also leaving their digital footprint online? We'll talk a little bit more about some of the platforms, what that looks like, and they all have different functions. But again, once we put something out there, then it really just stays in that space. So we're going to go to our next slide and just think about those pieces. On the link, you'll also, on your chat, you'll see where to go to a website called commonsense.org. You'll be able to do a click on there and just make sure that you visit it and gain some more or additional information. So digital citizens so what are digital citizens? Inclusive, informed, engaged, balanced, and alert. So I know here, when I'm on my platforms, when I'm using our district platform or emails, sometimes we get items that pop up, maybe from people that we don't know, maybe outside of our organization. So we always do need to remain alert. We want to, when you're talking about being inclusive, you're open to hearing and respectfully recognizing multiple points of view. As you know, sometimes it's really easy to respond to items, maybe on Facebook, maybe on Twitter, right? And make comments that we wouldn't necessarily make if people were in front of us. So just making sure that we're open and respectful and recognize that people have different points of view, that you're informed, that you evaluate the accuracy, the perspective, and that validity of the digital media and social posts. So because we have so much information at our fingertips, it makes it also harder to decipher what truly is factual, accurate. And so as being a digital citizen, I need to be informed. And how do I engage? Again, just reiterating, how do I use this technology, the digital channels, and how do I engage is really important. How am I maybe using it for very positive items that I'm very, that I want to solve like a real world problem. There's many, many different platforms, many different ways to engage and be a force that can be positive. And again, there's many platforms that will help us with that. So just leaving you here with some things to remember. How are we inclusive? How are we informed, engaged, balanced, and alert? And here, there's some information here. This was something that happened or occurred last year. There's this Digit Commit virtual Congress was held at Facebook headquarters where Featured leaders shared how digital citizenship practices can have a positive impact on the world. LA Unified was a featured school district spotlighted for our commitment to digital citizenship over the last 5 years. So again, this is just as important as when we're setting norms in the classroom, how we interact, how we engage. We really want students to understand that that applies in real world and on social media and in person. So just wanted to put that highlight because our district really has been at the forefront of engaging in this way with our students. Next slide. Let's take a look about this piece called Digit Commit. Ms. Monson, if you can click on that blue section. Thank you. If you scroll a little bit lower, just wanted to show you, if we keep going, there's more information about digitcommit.org. If we keep going further, there's actually some video footage that you can explore. If you want to click on there, Ms. Monson, just for a moment. And so you can engage in more information that LA Unified is engaged with. This was a virtual conference, and there's just snippets here of different items. What happened at that Digit Commit?
The Digit Commit Virtual Congress. Make some noise, make some noise. Yeah. Man, it's a great day to be here, promoting positivity, talking about digital citizenship. And today, right now, we're going to look at school districts who are doing a great job at digital citizenship work. So we have Los Angeles Unified School District representing, we have Dr. Vanessa Monterosa. She serves as a program and policy development specialist for the Los Angeles Unified School District. And also we have Sophia Mendoza. She is a proud alumni of the Los Angeles Unified School District, and currently she serves as the director of the Instructional Technology Initiative. Please welcome to the stage our speakers.
So Ms. Monson, thank you. I just wanted you all to have a space to go to. If someone from our team can please drop that link into our chat, you can explore our website, more information, what it looks like. And it always is an honor to be at the forefront of some of these items that are really important to students and families. So want to make sure that you had a place to go into the Digit Commit. Next slide. Now, Common Sense Media, when we talk about having a balanced approach and talking about where to go to about exploring media and the usage, Common Sense Media is one that I go to, one that our district goes to. And this is something that a place where you can also connect to. Common Sense Media. Let's go to that next slide. So Common Sense Media, they have the best of lists. So as parents, we might be thinking, oh, I might want to explore this with my children. We want to make sure that there's a place for you to visit. You might have children that are of various ages. And so Common Sense Media will definitely give you information. And they kind of give you a rating for the best learning apps, the best video for kids, games, musics, books. So if you click on that bottom link, Ms. Monson. So as you go into the Common Sense Media platform, and again, I'm hoping our members of our team are able to pull those links and drop them on the chat, you will be able to see and review and filter these recommendations for families. So in this case, it's an app for age levels. But if you filter it by, let's go to the teens, Ms. Monson. We've done a little bit of videos that are more for the younger students, but sometimes, the older students want to see things they always want to see things that are age appropriate for them. So you can click on, once you've done that, you can apps to help with mental health. Maybe just do a quick click, Miss Monson. Any one of those. And it give you their review, their ratings. You can also download some of these apps. I know that Calm is one that many folks use. It's like a daily routine to engage in, supporting, relaxation for all ages. So I really encourage you to review and peruse. Think about it when we go to our movies. You know, what is the rating? What is the age level? And if it's recommended on Common Sense Media, it's a place where you can explore. It also gives you the type of devices that might be needed. And some of them, you know, are free. Some of them might have a cost if you want to get it now. But it's definitely a place that you can explore. We know that sometimes our students have to have a balance of how much they're on social media, how much they're on the internet and exploring and using apps. That balanced approach is certainly very important. But I wanted to share this site with you because it really does offer many different options for families. So we'll go back to our presentation. One thing that's always at the forefront, you know, I know that we get messages all the time when I'm on my personal email or on my social media platforms. There's many things that come in. There's many pieces that ask us to download, and, you know, I have to enter one place. I have to give my, you know, my password. You know, what I'm being asked to do on the internet, I'm always wary. I'm always trying to make sure I'm clicking on something that I should be clicking on, and that it's not going to in any way cause me to have any harm on my computer, bugs, viruses, all those pieces. So let's look at these 5 internet safety tips for kids.
Here are 5 internet safety tips for kids. Number 1, don't give out personal information such as home address, school name, or phone number. Number 2, never send pictures to strangers. Number 3, keep passwords private except from parents. Number 4, don't download anything without permission. It may contain a virus that can harm your computer. And number 5, tell an adult if you receive a mean or strange message. For more tips, visit us at commonsense.org. Here are
So I know these questions and how to support your children are always on your mind. Later on in the presentation, we'll touch a little bit upon bullying on the internet, but also making sure that we do need to teach students as they're engaging in this digital world, you know, what are those safety features that we need to be looking out for? I think we're traditionally learned, you know, how to give safety tips when we're in person in the real world. You know, don't talk to strangers, you know, make sure that there's an awareness in your surroundings, you know, all the tips that you as families give your children for them to remain safe. And now that this is virtual, we want to make sure we know what content students are exploring. We want to make sure that we understand that sometimes kids will receive things that they might not know what it is, and they're just going to download it. We don't know if that's age appropriate. So we have to teach them, and you give that guidance and those permissions about how they use the internet, social media, and apps. So in this next one, the question is, what's an app? So I know that several of you told you you're very comfortable with using apps and being able to use them. But let's get a definition here from this video.
If you woke up this morning thanks to the alarm on your smartphone, or if you like watching videos or playing games on your tablet, you're using applications, also known as apps. An app is a software program that lets you do things, for lack of a better word. You'll find apps on all of your devices, including smartphones, tablets, and computers. Some apps help you complete tasks, while others are just for fun. Here are some examples of ways you can use apps. Mobile apps are apps that run on your smartphone or tablet. They can make many things in life more convenient. For instance, if you're looking for a place to buy coffee, an app like Google Maps can determine your current location and then recommend nearby coffee shops. Apps aren't just for mobile devices, though. The programs and applications on your computer can also be considered apps. If you've ever used Microsoft Word to create a document, or a web browser to visit a website or check your email, guess what? You've used an app. Some apps come already installed, but you can easily download or buy more online. Apps are about communication, productivity, entertainment, and more. With so many possibilities, you're sure to find several apps that are perfect for the things you do.
Thank you, Ms. Monson. I did see that there was a question that came in. So I know family, some of you dropped in and some of you might still not want to see the rest of the presentation. We're going to be exploring the YouTube channel on Local District Central's website. You can have access. So if you're not able to stay for the complete presentation, I know that question came in. You certainly can visit our website and then click on YouTube channel for you to be able to access. Can you go back just one more, Ms. Monson? Before that, the apps. Okay, so I know that as we reviewed the applications, we're very familiar, I mean, and more around apps that come automatically on our phones and what it looks like on our phone to download an app. But we don't traditionally think about, or at least I didn't, a browser that I'm opening up on my laptop computer or my desktop. So apps can be in different, both on our phones, some of them are already there when we buy the phones, you can get your own, but then also thinking about, you can consider the applications on your desktops and on your laptops that are also applications. Next slide. So earlier when we were talking about digital citizenship. We talked about maintaining a balance. And so we're going to take a look at this short video and think about your balance. How much is our time on this media?
Every day, we make choices about what we do. We choose what we eat. We choose what to wear. And we make choices about the media we use. And these choices affect how we feel. Some media choices make us feel happy, curious, or excited. Other media choices help us feel loved. But others could make us scared, or stressed out, or even angry. So, what is media balance? It's about making healthy media choices. Thinking about what you choose, when you use it, and how much of it you consume. Then thinking about how these choices make you feel, because making healthy media choices is different for everyone. And remembering that sometimes the best media choice might be no media at all. So, what does media balance look like for you?
So again, having those conversations, I know that I myself have to monitor my media balance. Sometimes we're out at a restaurant or sometimes, what are those rules? Am I going to engage with my phone or am I going to engage with my family? How does it make me feel, right? How much time are students or your children spending on the internet or on the apps? And again, how they make them feel. So making sure that we talk about that. What is your parameters that you provide for your children? Is there a time frame that you say, okay, you can use social media or you can use whatever those parameters might be, and what time frame might be given? Again, making those choices, healthy media choices, learning about when they can use it, how much they consume, and most importantly, how they make you feel. And the last thought, again, just thinking about it's okay not to use them. It's okay to go out and play and engage and talk to friends, do some other activities, physical activities. We want to make sure that there's that balance and that healthy balance of what students are engaging in, especially in the developmental years, but definitely how they impact them, as they get older, friendships, how we're treated online, that whole be safe, be responsible. As a digital citizen are things to talk about with your family in general. Next slide. Okay, so here in this next portion, we're just going to do a small piece on exploring social media. Now, I know many of you are already very familiar with these platforms. Some of you may or may not be. So here you'll see a little bit about Facebook and Twitter, Instagram. I know Instagram is really popular with our students, TikTok for sure. And so let's take a look at what are all these social media apps that are out there. Let's take a look. We're just going to click to the next slide. And here we go. Snapchat. So this one, I'm not sure if it's around as much, but what is Snapchat? Snapchat, parents, you need to know that Snapchat is very popular. It allows teens to exchange user-generated photos, text, videos, and calls, both audio and video. But let's learn a little bit more about Snapchat. Next slide. And we're going to take a moment to hear about Snapchat through this video.
This is Snapchat. It's a messaging app that lets users send disappearing texts, pictures, and videos. Teens love it because they can share silly moments, add colorful captions and graphics to their pictures, and set a timer for how many seconds these can be viewed. Some teens may even be tempted to share sexy images. After all, they're supposed to disappear, right? Well, not quite. It's easy to snap snaps. You can either take a screenshot or a photo of the message, or use other apps to capture snaps. Another issue, it's possible for anyone to send you snaps. So it's a good idea to keep your setting on friends only. Plus, there's Snap Map, a feature that shows where you are. Make sure it stays in ghost mode. And finally, there's Discover, a Snapchat feature that serves up everything from news to, of course, marketing. For more advice on the latest social media apps, visit us at commonsense.org.
So as you heard from this video, I certainly learned about some of these applications and things to think about. So it's really depending on the age and how this is being used, but thinking about someone knowing where my child is at, if I don't look at those settings and turn them off, then that, we really need to be informed as we're using the application. So parents, I highly recommend that you look at any apps that your children, especially those that they're on frequently, that you monitor them, that you know what their settings are. Now, it can be sometimes, you need to be very informed. So even though Snapchat is supposed to disappear, it's just there for a moment. There's all these features. Somebody could be recording that that Snapchat piece. Somebody could do a screenshot of it. And again, we're talking about the digital footprint, right? So the app does that, but there's so many ways to capture. It's so easy sometimes to post something, it's going to disappear, but is it really going to disappear? Again, being informed, knowing what settings you need to set for that application, and especially not having anyone know or access to your child as far as knowing where they're at by these apps. So please, some things to think about as a parent and as you're using or your children are using different platforms, including ourselves. Next slide. Okay, TikTok become very, very, very popular. Everybody's in on it. This TikTok is a free social media app that lets you watch, create, and share videos, often to a soundtrack of the top hits in music right from your phone. Let's learn more about TikTok.
What is TikTok? It's a social network dedicated to short, self-made music videos. You can record yourself lip-syncing to popular songs, share your own musical creations, remix titles, or browse other people's work. Okay, no surprises here, but kids love to get their groove on using this app. TikTok has cool filters, speed adjustments, and a duet function specifically for friends in other places. As fun as it is, though, there are a few things to watch out for. Because it uses real music, you can find lots of iffy song lyrics and performances that include swearing and sexual content. And if you don't want the world to see your video, it's a good idea to adjust the privacy and safety settings and select private account. To check out our full review of TikTok, visit us at commonsense.org.
So again, going back to commonsense.org, which will give you additional information, guidelines, you saw that rating, how many stars, how safe might it be? What are things to watch out for? Although it's fun, interactive, and even, you're maybe doing a TikTok video with someone else, they have that option. It could be a really positive experience, but at the same time, looking at what's age appropriate, what is it that you can post? How do you allow them to post? Do you let them just have an account? Do you tell them, you can post, but I need to know what you're going to be posting, what you're going to be developing. And also learning that, again, any application, you need to really get to know what those settings are for that application for your child to be able to use and use safely. Next slide. Twitter. I do a lot of posting on Twitter. Twitter is also a social networking site. It allows us to post short text messages. So if you see us on our LD Central channel, many times I'm the one doing those Twitter announcements. Like today, we sent out an announcement of today's presentation. It limits us, it has a limit of number of characters. It's a growing craze for online shopping also. Twitter also makes it possible to promote your business and even shop directly through tweets. So it just does it has so many uses. Let's look at some of the things we need to be aware of, some of the great positive stuff, and some of the stuff for you to be aware of. Ms. Monson, I think here we were going to go to the LD Central Twitter. You click on there, I think it should take you to it. We're just going to give you a quick peek. Right now, so for some of you that said, where is this presentation going to be? I'm going to click on that YouTube channel in a bit. Right now, we want you to look at Twitter. So on the top, Ms. Monson, if you go to the way where we were at, go to the Twitter feed right there. And you'll see. You'll see what we're posting at Local District Central. And you should see my Twitter announcement. So I think it's further down. Maybe it's not. I saw it. I posted it earlier. There it is. There it is. So we typically try to do our postings here. We try to send it out as a text. Again, we're using our platforms, right? We use something called Blackboard to send your text messages. We can only do that if you allow us to have your text information as you're registering your child and it goes into a platform. That's how we have access to send you text. In this situation, just want to show you that, take it an opportunity to see what it looks like to have this information. Again, they're short. You can do pictures. You can up to do, I think, 4 pictures on here, and just gives you quick information about some of the important things that are happening. And what better than to be with us today, Tech Talks and more, learning about social media and learning about digital citizenship. We'll go back to our presentation. So team, if you can drop that link in the chat, that would be awesome. There's so much to explore. We'll go over that YouTube channel in a bit. Might have to come back to this slide. So this is YouTube Kids. There is a YouTube channel for kids. It is a kid version of YouTube. So let me know in chat, how many of you knew that? This kid targeted version of YouTube features are curated, ad supported, TV shows, music, educational videos. You can create user profiles for each of your kids. So the app can tailor its selections individually. And one of the best features of YouTube Kids is the timer, which lets you set a limit up to an hour for your kids to play on the app. So that's really important to know. So if you're going to have an account for your children, you're going to have a YouTube channel. This is one way to go in and be able to monitor. Again, remember that balance, that media balance. If it's already embedded, you're having them go just to this site, it's a really cool way for you to be able to do that. Now, Ms. Monson, I don't know if you can click on that bottom link. If it's not hyperlinked, that's okay. Let's go back to the district one and click there. And we're going to go to our YouTube channel. Now, we're really proud of some of these, all of these features that are in here, but YouTube is especially one that we use a lot here at Parent and Community Engagement. So when you go to the YouTube channel, if we click there, you'll get the content here. So some of you were asking earlier, how do I see this video? Well, here you go. If you look here, we're being live streamed right now. So if you see here, this presentation is on YouTube. for local district center. As you can see, when you look at it right now, it's live. You would be able to access this on your phone if you have access to the internet, and you would be able to live see this presentation live. And if you want to come back to it, it'll also be there. But if you scroll a little bit down, you'll see some. If you look at there, it says Tech Talks and more. We just had a Black Students Matter Poetry Town Hall. We had Growth Mindset. If you look here, all the labels that are say Tech Talks and more have different video content. We've done many, many, many videos. We don't even have all of them on here because we didn't start video recording live in YouTube because we were learning this platform. We wanted to feel that we were informed. And so it took us a little bit to feel like we were ready to do and launch and do some of these videos live. So just wanted to share with you. If you click on Ms. Monson on the top where it says videos, it'll sort us just by our videos. And again, here you'll see many of our content that we produce, but you also see other things that are happening, like the Black Students Matter initiative, read aloud, just a lot of different items. If you keep scrolling, depending on the month, like when we had Black History Month, a Women's Month, we had, just clips that are short video clips of some of the folks we wanted to highlight. And again, just many, many different ways. If you look on the bottom, we have a Tech Talk and more called Parents Anonymous that we can go to. There's a resource fair that we did. That was maybe about 4 months ago, but that resource fair was really popular. A lot of great items. For those of you that have children that are English learners, we had several fabulous ELD or English learner presentations. Again, we invite you. Now, if you want to see some of these, ask your school. Let's put some of those titles and review these videos together at your school site. Maybe you can help co-host one of them and partner with your school. But again, we have many, many videos. If you look at Exploring Pumpkins with Growing Great, that was a super favorite. If you want to do some activities around cooking and growing wonderful food that's healthy and just engaging with all the activities that they have, I highly recommend you. That is one of my favorite hands-on piece. And then again, our town halls. If your kid is about to go to college, there's information about college. You might see a little funny video. If you go Peace is the Way social media challenge on the top in the middle left right there, you'll see me having a little moment there with one of my colleagues and maybe rethinking my behavior. It's called Peace is the Way social media challenge. We had a social media challenge about how to, the positive environment and how to be, just a fun way of interacting and having students and schools participate in video recordings that were positive. So anyways, really proud of what we have in here. Please explore it. Volunteer program, early routines for early learners, and much, much more. Okay. Now I also see a Title I conference. Now this Friday, I invite you. You're going to get a text from me. Want to just kind of plug that in since we're looking at the conference from last year. We do have a 9 a.m. conference. Join us. We have very important information that's going to be shared. We had one in the fall. As you see here, that was 10 months ago. So we want to take a little look. And then I'm sure we'll be able to, hopefully you'll be able to join us on Friday too. We're having a session that's really fun, and you'll learn more about how to engage in a Schoology group, just like your kids. So, all right. I have fun with this component. There's just a lot of positive pieces here that you can explore. And we're going to go back to our PowerPoint presentation. So we're going to take a look at that YouTube for Kids.
Okay, we thought we'd try something a little different today and do a review of YouTube's brand new app, the YouTube for Kids app. So where's the App Store? There it is. So the YouTube for Kids app apparently is able to kind of weed out the more inappropriate videos so that your little ones don't accidentally click on those, but we have yet to try it. So Google put out this YouTube for Kids app so that you can use this one. So of course they have DreamWorks and Cookie Monster and all of the typical kids channels as examples on here.
And this one.
That's Kids Flicks. I don't know what that is.
Kids Flicks.
Okay, there it is, YouTube for Kids. Let's check it out and let little dude see what he thinks of it. Wow! Would you rather use this YouTube app so far or the other one that you always use?
I want to do Thomas, but I like Thomas.
Okay, so you can put a timer on it, which is very useful because I am...
Can I have for dinosaurs one too?
Probably. I'm always putting the timer on for little dude, and when he knows that the time is up, then he's no longer allowed to use YouTube feedback and settings. Okay, so it shows you a bunch of official Peppa Pig, official Babar, Barney, so a lot of predetermined channels, not some of our more well-known toy channel buddies. There's Thomas.
Yeah.
So this looks pretty easy because you can just click on the next video you want to see. There's less text. Pancake Manor. Never even heard of that one before. Okay, Baby Mozart. So YouTube apparently has preloaded channels that it thinks you might like, or Let It Go videos. PBS Kids. Here's search. Let's see. Dudes in Toyland. There we go. All right. Here we are. Oh, you can search by name. Okay. Dudes in Toyland. And it takes us right back to our channel again. So what do you think of this app? Oh, you want to watch our Chuggington video? Chuggington. So I think this app seems pretty cool. So then at the bottom, you can see more videos you can click on, and it makes a sound as you scroll, which is pretty cool. Well, I think I like this YouTube app. I think next time you want to watch YouTube, I'll probably set you up on this one. You can search by music, shows, learning, or explore. There goes Cookie Swirl, one of our faves.
It's Legos.
Charlie bit me. Oh my gosh, look at this pig walking on here. That's cute. I think we're going to keep this app and maybe even use it just as much as the regular YouTube app, if not more. It doesn't look like we can log in though, so it doesn't look like we can load up our favorites. But either way, I think this was a good move on YouTube's part. What do you think, buddy?
Good.
All right. Okay, hang on a second. Listen. It's playing music. That's really kind of actually strange. That might end up driving Mama nuts. I don't know if I'll leave this app on just because it'll be playing music the whole time. Oh, what was that sound you just made it make? Whoop, whoop. Wow, it does that when it switches in between categories there. Okay, thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out our channel for toy videos and other family-friendly videos. Yep, there's the Science Kid, Jim Henson. We love Jim Henson. There's Pajanimals. We love it.
I love Science Kid.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, we thought we'd try something.
Okay, so as you see, the parent was really modeling what's in that app, right? So the younger the kids are, we know that there's going to be very close attention paid to the apps, what you're going to put your child on, especially because they're young learners. But likewise, you should be just as informed as the kids get older because the content gets different. They're exposed to more things. They're on multimedia sources. So this was a perfect example of them parent trying to figure out what works best for their kid, exploring it, making sure that they make the right selection, looking at what the features are. So just something to think about, right? I like this video in how it walks us through a parent just kind of reviewing and even, just trying to figure out how to use it and trying to figure out which content would best fit the needs of her child. So this YouTube Kids is a really positive piece. So if you didn't know, we do have a YouTube LAUSD channel also, just like Local District Central. We're just going to take a quick peek. So here you'll also see various videos, playlists, channels. So just like you saw the one for Local District Central, there's also content from LAUSD. Okay. All right. So we'll go back, Ms. Monson, and if we can drop the link, certainly just wanted you to have a look that, YouTube is a pretty popular channel. We'll go to our next slide. Let's look at Instagram, a fun way to capture and edit, share photos, videos, messages. Let's find out more. Next slide. And here we go. 6 things we need to know. Parents, did you know all of these? Let's explore.
Here are 6 things parents may not know about the popular social image sharing platform, Instagram. Number 1, according to the terms of service, kids should be 13 years old before signing up. Unfortunately, Instagram has no age verification process, so lots of kids younger than that are using it. Number 2, some users have multiple accounts that are completely separate from each other. Fake Instagram accounts are public-facing and highly curated and project an ideal online persona that's hard to achieve in reality. Number 3, depending on whom you follow or what you search for, you can find lots of mature content on Instagram. Whether it's cyberbullying or oversharing, comments on posts can be downright vicious, especially if an account is public. Number 4, Instagram accounts are public by default, so the first setting to change is the privacy setting. With a private account, only people you approve can see what you post. Number 5, using Instagram might affect a teen's body image and sense of self. The pressure to look perfect or to get the most likes and followers means some teens will be comparing themselves to others. And number 6, Instagram is also a place kids can be creative, posting art, poetry, and videos that showcase their talents. So when used purposefully and in balance with other activities, the app can leave kids feeling connected and positive. For more tips, visit us at commonsense.org.
So once again, just being more informed, looking at what the features are, and, just learning some helpful tips on Instagram. Again, there's always a lot of positive interactions, but there's some things to be aware of. Next slide. Facebook, I think most of us are very familiar with Facebook, and some of our students, but maybe, let's look at Facebook. It builds technologies that get people to connect with friends, family, communities, and also to grow businesses. Let's look at our Facebook. Let's go back, Ms. Monson. Maybe this content right now is not available. There's another link on the bottom. Let's see if it's working there. Okay, so we can go back to our district channel, why am I doing that? Sorry. Let's go back and let's look at our local district central's Facebook page. And again, we connect. The positives is there's a lot of information that you can share with family. People post many different things. They connect with others. It's connected to Messenger, right, where you could create messages. And again, looking at the features. So if you go to the left on Facebook, the other one, Ms. Button, we can go back to Facebook, just a little bit to the left of the trigger. There you go. Let's see if you have an account. Okay, so very similar to what you would see on Twitter, right? And you have followers. You're able to post, again, put images. You have friends that you can connect to, right? So what things might you be looking at depending on the age level? Who might be your children's friends? Do they have an account? Should they have an account? In Instagram, you saw that they have to be 13 years or older, and then there's really no way to kind of do that checks and balances. So it really leaves it up to the parents to make sure they know how they're connecting and who they're connecting with. Again, not sharing personal information, being informed, knowing the settings. Who are they following? What are they seeing? Is it age appropriate? And again, just really the content that's in Facebook, sort of as a social platform, maybe to connect with friends and family. Now you'll also receive some messaging and some advertisement. And so we want to make sure that you're able to kind of provide that guidance based on your child's age appropriateness, and again, being informed. So kind of the same message around all of these platforms and thinking about which one you would like to explore more. Okay, so we'll go back. Facebook also keeps track of your friends, your history, how long you've been on it. It reminds people it's your birthday. So again, just a lot of fun ways to interact. All right, this is not the fun part of a digital footprint. It can be positive, it can be negative. So let's look at, this is something that our students are facing that you might need help with. And then, again, how does it make us feel? Sometimes it's just hard not to connect. Students and especially teenagers, they feel they need to be on social media all the time. They're looking at pictures of friends and, they're positive and, some of them are not. So how do we deal with that? So let's look at bullying and the difference between bullying and cyberbullying. Let's look at our video.
When we're mean, we might say or do things that hurt others. We might be feeling angry, upset, or jealous. It could happen once, or maybe even twice. Being mean is not okay, but bullying is much worse. Bullying is when someone uses their power repeatedly to hurt or upset someone. It could be hurting them physically or calling them names and saying hurtful things. So then, what's cyberbullying? Cyberbullying's like bullying, but it happens on the internet or on a device like your phone, which can make it kind of different. With cyberbullying, it can feel harder to escape because it can happen anywhere, anytime. Also, it's easier for cyberbullies to hide who they are. Plus, other people online could see what's happening and even gang up on someone. If you see someone being bullied, in person or online, what can you do? Give them support. It helps to show that you care. Be an upstander. Stand up for others and say something to the bully. Report what you see and tell a trusted adult. So, what will you do if you see cyberbullying?
So, just as a reminder, this is something really, really important because students, it can happen anytime, they're growing up with all these wonderful activities, but social media also has some components that could be very harmful, even when we're not in person. How we send messages, what we record others doing, what happens when things are out there immediately. So it can be a really negative impact to students, to us, to adults, right? But as children, we need to be aware of that. So making sure that you connect with them, finding out, again, monitoring and being able to connect with your child. If you feel that maybe there's some changes or they're struggling with something, they might not tell us right away, right? And so just always keep connected. I know when my kids were younger, I would tell them, I will have access to your phone. I will have passwords to your phone, and I will do checks whenever I need to. And so you decide what those rules are going to be and how you monitor them and when, and what you consider appropriate for your child. But always keep those items in mind. Sometimes they might be bullied. They're being bullied online. You might not even know about it. So it seems to that people that it's just easier to do. So here we go. Okay, so we're going to have our folks drop some links here for the resources that we've reviewed, the commonsense.org. Now, if you want to take a picture of this is the time. Maybe you're not on the chat or you don't want to lose it. If you want to take a picture of these websites, you certainly can visit them. There's resources for you to explore, get more information. This was just an overview for some of you. Thank you for connecting and, just going over some helpful tips, some things to think about. And again, thinking about how our behavior, right? What are we being responsible? Are we modeling, right? So if we're asking our children to be balanced, but yet we're on the phone when we're trying to engage with family, what messages are we sending around social media and its usage and that balance that we would like to keep? Having conversations with what's online, having questions. Hey, how do we validate some of the stuff that's out there? What questions might you have for them? Where would they see if this is a valid source? So those are things we explore with in schools, with our teachers, but also at home, right? I know if someone, makes a mention of something, they think it's true because it's on the media, just like we think it's all true because it's in print. But that might not be necessarily so. So being able to decipher those pieces and monitor them are something to be aware of. In our next slide. Now, I know our time is coming to a close. Again, this was just an overview. I hope it was helpful and it's just a time for reflection. The good news is that we're more and more back in person. So we'll be navigating social media a little differently. Maybe, not being on those digital platforms like we did during these very difficult and challenging times that we faced all together. But if you want to contact us, please, here's some information. You can contact myself. You see my email at the top, ayarregui@lausd.net. We have communities of schools that support your schools. We have coaches that are behind the scene that will support you. Now, if you don't know which area your school is at, approximately, you can just contact any one of us. Ms. Monzon is in the Manual Arts Vermont Square. Ms. Lomeli serves and supports Koreatown Pico Union. Ms. St. Amant, Glassell Park, Los Feliz. Right now, she's also supporting Eagle Rock, Highland Park. Mr. Alex Campbell supports we now have South Los Angeles Community of Schools and Historic Central. Mr. Javier Contreras, downtown and MacArthur Park. He's currently supporting both schools. You see him there on the screen. And on our next slide, I think it's just a huge thank you. But I want to leave you with this. Please visit our YouTube channel. You can review this presentation. You can review it with your kids. The other thing is I want to invite you, folks on our team, coaches, if you can repost on our chat the link for Friday's presentation. Come and hear more about our parents and parent engagement and collaboration. We're going to be reviewing our district parent engagement policy and then also our compact. But most importantly, we're going to be hearing from school staff and parents, and they're going to be talking about their best practices around collaboration. They're going to share with you what does it look like when we're truly in partnership with our schools and in leadership with our schools. Collaboration is the key. Building relationships is the key. So I invite you. I am eager and hopeful that every one of you will join us on Friday. It starts at 9 a.m. It's a 2-hour session. Please join us for any amount of time that you can. And we will also post this presentation and the one on Friday on the YouTube channel. So if you want to check out the one in the fall, that's also in the YouTube channel. But we're certainly going to add that to our YouTube channel on Friday. If you can come in live, even better. Thank you so much, families. And we're going to end our session. Have a beautiful day. And thank you for one more session of Tech Talks and More with Parent and Community Engagement. Have a beautiful day. Thank you, Mr. Campbell, for supporting us. Thank you, Ms. Monzon, for helping me with the PowerPoint slide deck. And then thank you to our translation unit behind the scenes, our amazing interpreter and text, and also to Ms. Lomeli and Ms. Irene St. Amant. And you saw Mr. Javier Contreras earlier, members from our team that are here to support and to serve. Thank you, everybody. We'll be checking out and have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the day. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful day.